Hello, and welcome to my industry update from our meeting on the 24th of January in Derry Stroke, Londonderry. As you will see, we had quite an extensive agenda, but I wanted to take this opportunity at least to give you some of that information. The meeting itself lasted 2 hours, so we won't be able to go into the same detail. But if you have questions, look, please always reach out to the office and we'll hope to be able to answer them for you. So look, I don't want to keep you long. This is a new format for me and hopefully it works for both of us. As the voice of the industry, we continues to work. In the absence of the assembly, we continue to work and engage with the party leaders and indeed their key people, the heads of the department, and it's on the key issues. Look, we really do know that the cost of doing business is crippling our industry. How do we know? Because our members are the board, they're on the board, they inform us continuously, and I continuously out and about and meeting with members. And it is issues like the 75% rates reduction that was given in England. Now, yes, Scotland and Wales used that in different ways, but that money should have come to businesses here, and we want to see it come. It also is about normal business rates and the multiplier used, which is now totally irrelevant, on energy costs. And indeed, there's a major licensing review underway now, and that's really taking up a lot of my time. In relation to UK government, again, we are lobbying there heavily on VAT. Again, the rates model, because that's a UK-wide model. National minimum wage, because we want to pay it, but we need help to actually be able to pay it. And any of the issues that aren't devolved, we are continuously engaging at Westminster to try and resolve those. One of the benefits that we do have is we are part of the UK One Voice Group. Ourselves, UK Hospitality, the British Beer and Pub Association, and the BII all work together, and indeed we meet every other week to review our progress. We have indeed actually written to the Chancellor pre-budget on rates, on the national insurance contributions, on VAT, and indeed on duty, and creating that bigger differential between beer drunk on licensed premises and bought in the supermarkets. We also are very fortunate in that we have developed a sister organisation relationship with UK Hospitality. And UK Hospitality means we have a continuous voice in Westminster, not just ourselves dropping over, which is important, but you need to be there every day. And I'm very, very happy to be working with Kate in UK Hospitality, their Chief Executive. And indeed, we have released a joint pre-budget campaign, and that you should now have seen in our communications. And if you haven't, please reach out to us. And that really is again about the business rates multiplier, the cut in VAT and allowances, and also that lower employment threshold levels, which would help us actually pay the increases that we will now face again in the national minimum wage in April. And also the apprenticeship levy, because anybody that pays it here will realise you don't get it back. So it's actually a tax on your actual employment and on your training budget. And that campaign now is underway. Please check your emails and texts, and if you haven't seen it, reach out to us. You'll also get it on our social media. And it's really what we're asking there is we have set up an automatic system. Write to your MP, just click on the link, it's already there for you. All you have to do is add your name to it and let them know how critical these factors are. We're also working on an all-Ireland basis with our counterparts in the Republic of Ireland, and that's important because we can share resources and knowledge, and we're also exploring the opportunity to apply for UNESCO World Heritage status for our pub culture. It follows on the back of the Viennese coffee shops got it for their coffee culture, not the buildings, which is very unusual. So we intend to pursue that along with our partners because I think it's important. We have a unique pub culture. The Irish Ulster pub is renowned around the world and often poorly copied. So we want to go forward and get it the credit that it's rightly due. Obviously, the review of licensing, which is now underway, is taking up some of my time, a considerable amount of my time, because It's a really important issue, and for those that aren't aware, it was Matthew O'Toole, the SDLP MLA, that put a legal requirement in that the licensing laws and the surrender principle had to be reviewed within a 2-year period, and due that report is due this year. And they're also Stirling University, who were appointed, are getting a hefty fee of 470,000, almost 500,000, which seems a bit extreme. For some, it may seem simple that, oh, if we change the licensing laws, that would be great. We could have everybody get the same license, do the same thing. It comes with lots of consequences. For example, Scotland, if you have a restaurant, you're paying the same rates model as a pub, which means you're paying over 3 times your current rates. So it wouldn't be good news, believe me, because I know the level of rates our pub members are paying. As you'd expect, we have appointed a team of consultants. We have economists, financial experts, legal experts, including a KC, and also market analysis to actually say what the trends are and what the future for the licensed trade is. As you'll expect, our response to the review of liquor license will be extensive and runs to currently to over 60 pages, but I wanted just to highlight some of the detail here. And I say I was able to give more detail in the actual meeting, but I wanted to cut down this presentation on a number of slides. Really what our report is showing is that the social and economic and health impacts will all be negative. There are very few of any positive outcomes. And this is an independent report. It's not what I think, it's what the specialists have gone off and seen. One, the myth that we have far less pubs in the rest of the UK is nonsense. We have the same number of pubs per head of population as in GB. There are huge issues around if we change this model, the financial implications, because straight away it's not just the cost of the license, it's how much it actually devalues the whole business, because the license and the building, when you add them together, it's not the sum of the two. It actually increases significantly, and you'll know that if you go out to buy licensed premises. Competition law, it isn't a barrier. We've had a case over this, and there's no breach in competition law at all with it. When we summarize this into, we need to make the case obviously in advance, but if this got through, you would be talking compensation required in the hundreds of thousands. And indeed the report even doubts if the Northern Ireland Assembly has the legal powers to do away with the surrender principle. That said, if it comes and we can't stop it, and we need your help, we need the numbers and financial support to fight this battle. But if it comes that it is proposal to do away with it, again, our QC believes there is a strong legal case that we could take, and we would be taking that case. We would be taking a class action for compensation for our members. And I would point out it will be a class action for our members. So if you're not a member, you will not actually get compensation automatically if we win. Indeed, you'd have to take your own case, and this case will take considerable amount of time and a considerable amount of money. Other issues that are impacting your business that we're working on, obviously there's an issue around staffing and image of the industry, and hopefully you've seen we've been rolling out a number of get into hospitality courses, and those have proved very successful. Indeed, we're getting an into employment rate from the students or candidates, I don't know what the right term now is nowadays, of over 50%. We've also been working closely. We've established a subgroup on skills and employment, chaired by actually Colin Johnson, the MD of the Galgorm Collection. That actually is a subgroup of Hospitality Ulster, are members of the UK Hospitality and Tourism Skills Board. So it means we can tap in UK-wide, nationally, for help, guidance and resources, and we're working on an extensive range of elements there to help address that. Also connectivity. I don't think there's a licensed premise indeed, or any premise in the province, that hasn't been impacted by the lack of taxis, and indeed connectivity, the lack of buses when we've seen the strike, but also connecting tourists, being able to get from the airport, being able to get up the Antrim coast if they're going there. all connecting in time. So we've established a connectivity group, or I'm bringing forward a lobby in that area because we need to see urgent action, particularly around the taxi situation. We're also doing a lot of work around safer socialising, because if the perception out there is that it's unsafe in the evenings, that stops people going. That becomes reality. We have obviously launched our Women's Night Safe Charter and Ask for Angela campaigns. And if you haven't already done so, I would ask, please sign up to those because they're really important. And also, we've actually created a Northern Ireland Safer Socialising Steering Group. It has all key stakeholders and indeed government and police as well on that body. And that is about coordinating our initiatives, because there are too often we get initiatives that are maybe just not properly directed or not properly thought to, or a bit ad hoc around the province. So we want to make sure we're leading that campaign because we are a responsible and a very safe industry. Indeed, also you may have noticed pavement cafes, there have been since COVID. Everyone brought pavement cafes through. Before that, it was a struggle to get councils to implement it. But now there's a lot of reviews going on. I'm very aware actually Belfast has one at the minute. So it's important you actually engage with those reviews and tell us if it's happening in your area so we can actually help and respond and make sure we get a fair system that works for everyone. When it comes to the consumer and product trends, hopefully again you have been seeing this year we have been releasing quarterly updates on our industry survey on consumer behaviour and product trends. And that's really important because we have seen such a dynamic shift post-COVID, and you need to be informed so you can actually direct your business in the right way. Also, you should have actually currently with you our industry survey, and that is vital because since COVID, government have become very data driven, more so than ever before, and we need to be able to prove the case, because me rocking up and saying, oh, it's a hard time we're having, doesn't cut the mustard. We need the data and we need you to support us with that. I appreciate it takes time, they can be irritating, but if you could please fill in our survey and respond, the value of it is immense. Speaking of consumer trends, I think it's reassuring that whilst we look and see, that consumers are still feeling the financial pinch, they still want to go out with us. We are seeing changes where actually the consumers are still saying, above all else, they would still value going out into hospitality more than anything. And I think that's really important. Currently, they don't have the money to do that, but that gives us the thing to aim for. We're in a difficult period, but at least we know the consumer will return once the financial pressures ease, the cost of living pressures cut back, the cost of business pressures hopefully will also cut back too. Look, thank you for listening to this. It is a new format. I apologize for any stumbles through it as I get to grips with the new technology. But please reach out to us. The number, the email and the website are all on the screen now. Feel free to give us a call. If you're a member and need help, please, that's what we're here for. I'm actually going off this call to work with a member about an issue with the NI water and a shared meter. We get lots of individual calls like that all the time. So reach out and ask. And if you're not a member, I'd appeal to you. It is the strength of the voice. We showed it during COVID that it works. Join up today. You will see value return for your money, and particularly in the licensed trade and the review coming, it will be important to be a member. Thank you very much for watching.